Hello there. Yeah, this is Kaneo Zing, aka Chris. And I guess I'm here today to talk about Disney for me. Or maybe I could rephrase that. What Disney is for me. Because, well, let's be honest, I think the Star Wars thing flopped, and maybe I can help you understand what the hell your demographic is. I was born around the year 1980. One of my first Disney movies that I ever liked was called The Black Hole. And I was a very little kid when I liked this movie. This movie was about an insane spaceship that basically, it takes you a while to figure out that basically it goes to hell. It goes to hell and then it goes to heaven. At the very end of the movie, they're not going to tell you exactly what happens, but basically, that's the context. At the very end of the movie, there's some sort of insane, weird world where the whole spaceship goes insane, and they fall into the black hole, into the great unknown, and somehow it goes to hell and heaven at the same time, and somehow everything resets somehow. And the movie was really atmospheric, and it was really kind of crazy. And to me, as a young kid or a little boy, I really liked this movie, and I liked it almost better than Star Wars. I liked how atmospheric it was and ominous at the same time. And I liked how they go around the spaceship, and it's like a murder mystery until they can figure out what the fuck happened with the original crew of the fucking spaceship, and they find out they're all turned into zombie robots. And just the whole movie was really fucking just crazy atmospheric and just basically just fucking awesome. So that was probably one of my favorite first Disney movies. Then I got a little bit older and Disney started doing the first parts of the Disney Afternoon. And they started coming out with DuckTales, and that was awesome because it was a little brighter and it was a little lighter. And around this time in California, I met lots of Latino, my best friend was a Latino kid, and his name was Ben, which is not a really Latin name, but he was my best friend as a little kid, and he happened to be very Spanish and very Mexican. And that ties into another movie that I liked as a little kid, which was The Three Caballeros. It's just something about being in California, and I happen to be one of those white kids that has brown eyes and kind of dark hair, so I could sort of blend in with the Latin kids too. And this movie was super cool, and it was almost like, it's no wonder that I like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, because it's actually quite similar to this movie. And that it's a very abstract movie and very fun, and you'll have to see it for yourself. It's just very, very Latin feel. So I like this movie a lot. Now, another show that I liked from Disney when I was growing up as a little boy was the Gummi Bears. And in particular, I really liked the character Cubby Gummy, because not only did he look really cool, he had like a cool French beret on, and it just had this whole fantasy setting that was extremely convincing, and you wish to God, and you almost did prayers, that you would get a Gummi Bears game. But that never really materialized. You almost wish it was Final Fantasy. And growing up, like, you saw various things as you began to age. You know, you saw the Disney Afternoon going along, and you began to appreciate, characters like Flintheart and characters like Scrooge And you began to almost identify with them, even though they were much older characters. And it gets into the great mirror with a youthfulness and an oldness, and how in some ways it's the same. That's a hard thing to explain, but I think you know what I mean. And as the Disney afternoon went along, it started to come out with shows like Tailspin, which had a Cloud Kicker and then a version of Baloo. And this show was just basically freaking awesome. And I don't know how Disney ignores itself. It's just the strangest thing. And that this show, in retrospect, is like a weird blend. It's like a blend of the Macross series, which is like this anime kind of deal with these airplanes and stuff, and yet it has all this super cool, like Disney anthropomorphic characters and whatnot, like in this show too. And it's like the perfect blend of like Macross action. It had like shooters, and they were shooting at each other, and there'd be all these evasive maneuvers, and it would just be basically fucking awesome. And I don't know how you can ruin this legacy when it's all there for you. I mean, you just look at that comic of the Tailspin comic, and it's all there for you, man. Like, it's got everything. It's got your furries, it's got your Macross action, it's got everything you could fucking want. And it's like vaguely like Rocket Knight Adventures at the same time. And then it got to another show, which is called Darkwing Duck, which could be, I think they did make into a video game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it just had the most sarcastic characters and whatnot. And obviously, the show was like a riff on Batman, and that it ironically took a cue from Warner Brothers in so many of its angles, including its characters. It just was a little more violent and a little more sarcastic, and it was just a fucking amazing show. And you see Negaduck there; he's fucking awesome. And I guess I'm just trying to tell you what's up. You know, it seems like you're so confused with Star Wars, and you're so confused with this, that, and the other thing. I'm just making a short video based upon my own childhood and just being honest about the things that I thought were cool, that maybe you can go on that. I mean, there it is for you if you want to go on that. I also like Tron very much as well, which was an incredible movie, and I did like the sequel, Tron Legacy. So you can take those cues as you want it. And I guess in closing, I don't know why you're so hung up on Star Wars. Once again, I'll say, I don't know why you're so hung up on Star Wars. It's clearly to your detriment. Please stop it. Nobody wants your version of Star Wars. I'm just trying to help, and I'm just trying to tell my childhood and my demographics, so you maybe have some idea what you're doing. Make of it what you will, but that's it. That's basically sums up the movies that I saw as a kid that I liked. I think you need to get back to Michael Eisner. I think you are creatively, in some ways, bankrupt. I think you're remaking these Disney movies is a bad idea. I mean, it's obviously a cash grab, but you're paying for it in your soul. That's just my opinion. I'm trying to help out, and I'm trying to give you a direction for what you should be doing. Anyway, Disney, thank you so much, and I hope you understand. And I hope this helps you to understand why Star Wars failed.